Ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and lingering spirits. These are just some of the chilling phenomena reported at some of the most haunted locations in America. Places where the veil between our world and the spectral realm feels thin, almost paper thin. And let me tell you something, the energy in these places, it's not for the faint of heart. Today, we're taking you on a tour of the 5 most terrifying places in the country where the supernatural seems to walk among us. From haunted hotels to cursed prisons, these locations will send shivers down your spine. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for more spine-chilling content. Let's dive into the unknown. Nestled high in the Colorado Rockies, the Stanley Hotel stands as a beacon of grandeur. But beneath its opulent facade lies a dark and unsettling history. You might recognize it as the very place that inspired Stephen King's chilling novel, The Shining. But trust me, the real-life stories from this hotel are every bit as terrifying as the fictional ones. Guests report hearing phantom piano music echoing through the empty halls in the dead of night, as if an unseen hand is caressing the keys. Objects move on their own, defying the laws of physics and reason. And then there's the ghostly figure of a woman, said to be Flora Stanley, the wife of the original owner. She's been seen gliding through the halls, her spectral presence sending chills down the spines of even the most skeptical guests. Some say the spirits of past guests have never checked out, their souls forever bound to the hotel's grand halls and opulent rooms. Whispers of laughter, the clinking of glasses from a long-gone era, these are the things that await you in the Stanley Hotel. I've investigated countless haunted locations, but there's an oppressive energy here that's hard to shake. The air is thick with it, the feeling that you're constantly being watched, that something unseen is lurking just beyond your peripheral vision. It's like the spirits here feed off the energy of the living, their presence growing stronger with each passing moment. The Stanley Hotel isn't just a place where history sleeps, it's a place where history haunts. This isn't just a building, it's a monument to suffering. For nearly 150 years, Eastern State Penitentiary held some of the most hardened criminals, and the weight of their despair still lingers in every corridor, every cell block. Visitors today report hearing disembodied voices, whispers that seem to emanate from the very walls themselves. Footsteps echo down empty hallways, the sound of heavy boots on cold stone, a chilling reminder of the prison's brutal past. And then there are the full-body apparitions, shadowy figures that vanish as quickly as they appear, leaving witnesses frozen in terror. One of the most haunted areas is Cell Block 12. It was here that prisoners were subjected to a form of solitary confinement, so extreme it drove many to madness. The air in Cell Block 12 is thick with despair, the palpable sense of suffering that seems to seep from the very walls. I've heard stories of people experiencing extreme emotional distress in this area, overcome by a sense of dread and hopelessness that they can't explain. It's like the energy of the tortured souls who once suffered here is imprinted on the very fabric of the building. The guards who patrolled these cell blocks, they witnessed unimaginable things. And the stories they told, stories of prisoners driven mad by unseen tormentors, of cell doors slamming shut on their own, those stories weren't just campfire tales, they were warnings. Eastern State Penitentiary is a stark reminder that some sins can never be truly forgiven, some stains never truly erased. The spirits of the tormented souls remain, trapped within these walls, forever bound to the site of their suffering. Chapter 3. The Myrtles Plantation, where tragedy lingers in the air. Draped in Spanish moss and shrouded in a dark history, the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana is not just a house. It's a tomb of secrets, a place where the past refuses to stay buried. This antebellum plantation has borne witness to unspeakable acts, its grounds stained with the blood and sorrow of generations. Chloe, a slave who met a tragic end, is said to haunt the plantation. Visitors claim to see her ghost wandering the property, her eyes filled with the pain of a life cut short. But Chloe isn't alone. There are whispers of children's laughter echoing through the halls, a chilling reminder of the young lives claimed by disease and misfortune within these very walls. The plantation's long history of tragedy has left its mark, a darkness that permeates every inch of the property. You can feel it the moment you step onto the grounds, a heaviness in the air, a sense of dread that clings to you like the humid Louisiana air. It's as if the land itself is cursed, forever bound to the horrors that unfolded upon it. People have reported seeing objects move on their own, doors slamming shut as if pushed by an unseen hand. And then there are the cold spots, sudden drops in temperature that send shivers down your spine and leave you with an undeniable sense of unease. The Myrtles plantation is a place where the veil between our world and the next feels perilously thin. The stories, the legends, they're not just tales to scare children, they're a warning that some places are best left undisturbed, that some doors should remain forever closed. Chapter 4. The Queen Mary, where luxury meets the abyss. The Queen Mary, once a symbol of luxury and elegance, now sits permanently docked in Long Beach, California, a majestic but eerie reminder of a bygone era. But beneath the ship's glamorous facade lies a darker truth, a history steeped in tragedy and mystery that has earned it a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. Guests have reported hearing ghostly children's laughter echoing down the ship's corridors, their tiny footsteps pattering across the deck long after the sun has set. Others claim to see figures in 1930s attire, their spectral forms moving through the ship as if frozen in time. And then there's the mysterious lady in white, a spectral figure said to roam the first-class pool area. Her mournful cries have been heard late at night, a chilling reminder of the countless souls lost at sea. The Queen Mary is a floating ghost story, a steel behemoth that has borne witness to both the triumphs and tragedies of human existence. The energy on board is palpable, a strange mix of excitement and trepidation. I remember walking the ship's decks at night, the only sound the gentle lapping of water against the hull, and feeling this overwhelming sense of sadness, of lives cut short, of dreams dashed against the unforgiving reality of the sea. There's a story about a young sailor who died tragically in the ship's engine room, crushed by a heavy door. Some say his spirit still lingers there, his anguished cries echoing through the metal bowels of the ship. The Queen Mary is a haunting reminder that even in the grandest of settings, death can find us. And sometimes those who depart this world are reluctant to let go, their spirits forever bound to the places they loved or the places where they met their untimely end. Chapter 5. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, where hope died and fear thrives. Waverly Hills Sanatorium stands as a chilling monument to a time when hope went to die. This sprawling tuberculosis sanatorium in Kentucky was once a beacon of hope for the afflicted, but it quickly became a place of unimaginable suffering and despair. The air inside Waverly Hills is heavy with the weight of countless lost souls, their pleas for mercy still echoing through the abandoned halls. Patients often reported eerie occurrences and sightings of shadowy figures lurking in the peripheries of their vision. The most infamous feature of the sanatorium is the death tunnel, a subterranean passage used to discreetly transport the bodies of the deceased, shielding the living patients from the constant reminder of their own mortality. Today, visitors and ghost hunters flock to Waverly Hills, eager to experience its haunted history firsthand, and they are rarely disappointed. I've been inside Waverly Hills, and I can tell you the stories don't do it justice. The energy there is oppressive, suffocating. It's like the building itself is a living entity, feeding off the fear and despair of those who dare to enter. There's a room on the 4th floor, room 402, where it's said a pregnant nurse took her own life. They say her spirit still walks the halls, her cries of anguish echoing through the empty rooms. And then there's the 5th floor, where the most critically ill patients were sent. It's a desolate, decaying wasteland now, but you can still feel the presence of the souls who suffered and died there. Waverly Hills Sanatorium is a stark reminder that death is always near, waiting to claim us all. But it's also a reminder that the bonds of life, of love, and of suffering can transcend the veil of death, leaving behind echoes of what once was. From the haunted halls of the Stanley Hotel to the eerie confines of Waverly Hills, these locations remind us that some stories linger long after the lights go out. Each ghostly encounter adds another chapter to the rich tapestry of American history, woven with threads of hope, despair, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Thank you for joining us on this ghostly tour. But remember, this is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this journey into the supernatural, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more haunting tales. Who knows what we'll discover next? The unknown beckons.